Hello. Welcome to Shop Critique Saturdays. Today we are not going to do a shop critique. Instead, we are going to do a listing critique. So let me give you some more context. Some time ago, we noticed a listing which was bringing a tons of views and sales in 60 days. And we looked at it up and it surely looked like a niche. So we're like, wow, this listing is great. So I decided to do a deeper dive. So one of the common misconceptions is that if I copy one of the most popular listings, it's gonna give my shop a boost as well. And we're gonna look if this really works, honestly. So we're going to pick up the same product that we found. We know which is working for some of the shops. And we're going to see how some of the other listings which maybe copied the same original one or got inspired by a similar thing, how good or bad they are doing, and is it really possible to copy other listings and succeed. We're going to look at two different shops selling exactly similar products, and we're going to see why one is probably selling much more than the other. So stay tuned to understand what makes a listing successful and is copying other listings a good strategy or not. So let's get started. The niche I was talking about was newspaper invitations. You probably have seen them, okay? So I found these two listings. I wanted to do a fair comparison of like two products which look super similar to each other and to understand really if copying a product really makes sense. So this listing here, I don't know if you agree, but it looks like exactly the same product, except one is using like a black and white image and one is using a colored image. Apart from that, the font is kind of same. You are invited, the name, the structure is the same. They've just made some tiny changes on page 2. Yeah, looks the same to me. So let's do a deeper dive on these two listings. So I just established these are same, pretty much same. So let's try. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over each of these listings. We are going to analyze their images. We are going to analyze their titles and their products, and if they have any reviews. So yeah, let's start. All right, both of these products are catering to wedding niche. And as you know, wedding niche in Etsy is huge. So let's start with this one. This is from a shop called AJ's Digital Studio. And I personally think the opening image is so clean and nice. And you know how black and white gives you that aesthetic feeling. But the other listing is also pretty good. People love these sun flare images and all. And this picture also makes me feel warm and cozy. So I think the only difference in the images is that they are actually wearing wedding clothes, while the other is like, hey, we just got engaged. Probably the difference, but I don't know. Let's move forward. So there's a video which shows you can edit in Canva and the details of how big or small it is. Okay, so you get a postcard size detail, and then there's an invitation which is 5x7. So it's not really a newspaper, it's a tiny product. Let's look at their video now. They are showing how to edit this in Canva. This is what something like a lot of people who sell Canva templates do. They're like, let us show them how to do. I personally think it's better to actually just give them a link to a more detailed video on how to use their template in download instructions, rather than wasting this valuable space. I mean, maybe you're trying to show like, hey, look how easy it is. But anybody who's trying to buy Canva already kind of knows about it. So personally feel like it's a waste of space. All right, let's continue. Very nice picture, linen and rings and everything. Same thing. Please read. Okay, just tell me this is a digital download and no refunds. How can I edit? What can I edit? Okay, very clearly you can edit all these things. Good, clear instructions. They have written some like a clear, clever way of putting their reviews here and examples of how other people have used it. And they are telling you how it works. All right, good enough. Let's go to this one. They have used a flat lay, but I don't know. I mean, who holds an invitation like that? It's probably not the best mock for this. Receive a PDF Canva guide after purchase, or I'm always here to help. Okay, so they are telling you can also change all the elements. Now in this particular image, I just want to like kind of say that don't rely on your buyers to read so much. It should just be like super concise. Here is one word, please read it. Like this listing, you know, he's like, hey, you can change font elements, upload your logo and photos. This one is like, please read this long thing and interpret it. And I don't know, you have to also understand, like, English is not everybody's first language. So don't make them read and interpret stuff. I mean, they already made the video for this one, so I don't understand why they had to do so much. All right, the next one. Okay, I'm editing on Canva. What can I edit? The same information. If you look on the left, the same information presented in like this way, but the left is just more appealing. And here you're like, hey, you have to do the work. You know, you see the feels about it. Okay, what's included? Now look at this. There is kind of this problem. They are saying that this is 5x7. The details page is 5x7. The details page for the other one was 6x4. But like, think about this image. This image is clearly not 5x7. So that's misleading. Don't do that. Like, people, when they see this image, they're like, this is how my invitation will look like. And this is just inviting bad reviews. You're lucky if you don't get a negative review here, but honestly, this is misleading. Don't do that. Now, let's go to the, jumping. No. All right, I'll just do this. So yeah, let's move forward. So this one is 5x7. Print the design on both sides of one page or use as single pages. I think everybody knows that. I also don't understand this use of red. Like, you know, like colors in photographs, colors in product images mean a lot. And yes, you'd probably think red is good for grabbing attention, but red is also associated with anger. It's also associated with desire. I don't know. There's this whole color philosophy which you don't need to know, but in general, stay away from red. Choose a neutral color. And what value is these red parts bringing? Okay, single pages. So there's 8.5. There's a letter size and 5x7 for each of them, which again is misleading because the previous picture said 5x7. And you can have it on the phone. And again, they're using the mock. Maybe this mock now is like, okay, yeah, this is letter size, so it makes a tiny bit more sense. So probably they just need to change that image, which says 5x. Anyways, US letter and 5x7. Okay. Yeah, okay, still this is not, maybe, okay, let's continue. So they are displaying US letter everywhere. Again, this red and like super generic marks. Like, how is this related to wedding? Unique wedding invitation. Make purchase through Etsy. All right, so just kind of from the start, like the listing product images are kind of poor. An easy way of handling this could be probably just like buy a few mocks for wedding flat lay designs and incorporate those, and then like not use these cheap elements of red or, you know, I don't even know what this is. Like, you are selling wedding invitations. That's like dreamy. It needs to scream quality. It needs to scream, hey, this is what people are going to feel when they hold this invitation in their hands. So reflect that in your images. This is not a manual on how to use your product. All right, let's now move on to that. So SEO score is pretty much same for both of them, but one has 473 favorites, the other one has 20 favorites. The daily views, wow. Okay, this listing is 7 months old and this listing is 1 year. So 5 months, not that much difference, but you know, clearly So much different. And then the favorite ratio 5.53 versus 3.48. I would say this one still has decent favorite ratio, but I don't know how many it is converting. Like, the shop is running sale, so it's originally priced at $9 and the other one is just $2.71. So there is a common misconception. People think that buyers are on Etsy to buy cheap stuff, and that's not always the case. Honestly, you can test your pricing, and as long as it's reasonable and fair, people are happy to pay that. So you don't have to really price them low, you have to price them fair. And this person was like, okay, fine, I have the same product, why would anybody pay probably 4 times the price? But that's not the case. Maybe like the low price combined with poor quality images does not scream quality. In terms of title, wedding newspaper invitation, so this person has placed their top keyword in the first 22 characters, and the other person has placed editable wedding newspaper invitation. Now let's think about buyer's philosophy here. Do you think they go to Etsy and they search editable wedding newspaper invitation? I don't think so. They probably search wedding invitations, and that's when Etsy kind of routes them to this interesting journey where they find newspaper invitations. So the first keyword here really is wedding. Editable is taking up the space, should be probably put in the later part of the title. Digital RSVP card. Is this really what people look for in weddings? I don't know. Printable Canva. I feel like the better thing to do here would be like making the buyer understand that it is easy to customize and they can just do it in Canva, right? So a better keyword here to write would be Canva template. I feel like when it comes to wedding, like the person is already overwhelmed with all the planning and decisions they have to make. They want this process of selecting their invitations to be as easy as possible. And that's what your goal is when you're writing your titles or description. You're saying here, digital RSVP card. Great, guests can just RSVP digitally. That probably means I'll have to create my own QR code, which I don't know if a lot of people know how to. And then wedding day newspaper. I don't know what that means. It probably means like there is a program that people will get on the day of wedding. So when you think about titles, you have to think what buyers are really searching. Do they search wedding program template, or do they search editable unique wedding invitation? Probably the latter, right? Like, you have to really put your titles with as much natural language as possible based on what you think your buyers are searching when you're creating this product. So clearly, again, second point, great title. So between the two listings right now, 3-0. Let's go at descriptions. I'm guessing this person probably copied the description, but okay. So the first thing that this listing opens up is saying like, hey, use the code bundle to save 60% off. So that's showing like value. So I don't know if you saw the video of our Etsy strategy, but Etsy really wants you to show customers that they are getting a high quality product at a great value. So creating discount codes and this information on like, hey, how you can save money on this amazing product is kind of in line with Etsy's strategy. So this person is doing that pretty great actually. Okay, one thing I noticed is like, I don't know what this means, party decor for gatherings and celebration. Invitations are not party decors. Okay, so I'm not sure where to fix that, but let's move on. All right, so continuing, create a unique wedding invitation with this wedding easily customized. So this description captured the essence of your love story by including all the important wedding details and create a unique wedding invitation. Do you see the difference? This one is like, hey, this is your invite, feel warm and fuzzy, and you're gonna feel so great when you publish this invitation. This one is like, okay, create a unique wedding invitation, which honestly is not unique, because if a buyer really searched for it, they probably went through like 50 other listings. So is it really unique? It's not unique, clearly, because there are exactly same ones. There are exact same listings there. So the listing product descriptions, again, not fun. Then this person has clearly divided the description with product details, how this process works, very nice bullet points, easy to read, and it is passing the scannability test. You're like, I need this piece of information and it's right there. Also, the fact that this person is only offering 5x7 means that I have to take less decision. This is what it is. It will look great. And here I have to probably decide, like, do I want to use letter? Do I want to use 5x7? Okay. So this is saying instant download. I would say it's still okay. It's decently readable, but not as clean as this one. And I was not planning to roast this listing, but it's just turning out to be important. Okay, you can edit all of the following. Looks good. How it works. Okay, returns. Again, a lot to read on the right hand side. And an additional touch is like, contact me. This is the way you contact, and I'm available from Monday to Friday. So they are setting the expectation that if you have a problem, I'm available. Don't worry about it, which I've not seen many sellers do. So this is great. All right, let's move on. Next, we're going to look at each of these shops as a whole. So I've already opened it here. So this shop is called AJ's Digital Studio. The name is being crafted, so probably it's too long. This one is called Happy Hearts Hub. Digital products to make any celebration special. And this one says wedding templates and digital prints shop. Interesting, because this one is advertising as like, I only have wedding stuff, which is kind of going in line with like, hey, Etsy sells a lot of wedding things and this is what I'm going to give you. The other one is like, hey, generic, enter this Hallmark store and do your research and find something you probably would like. And then look at the banner images. I feel like, which one would you pick? Is that red again? Printables to make any celebration special. This one, he's like putting his logo. So, you know, we talk about like branding, make people remember you. So putting your logo in these kind of places help people have this visual memory of your shop. Again, like the images are very dreamy, very on point for wedding, clean photos. This one, it's like, okay, there's birthday invitations. I think these are probably the same products, and this one is birthday. In terms of banner, like here she decided not to put the logo, which is fine. It says printables to make any celebration special, and the highlights is the 80th birthday, so maybe this is the best selling product in this shop. But again, the marks are too generic. Try to make it look consistent. Consistency is the key. Of course, like this shop has almost 18,000 sales, and this one has 136. So let's look at the announcement. All right, so Etsy kind of looks at your announcement. I know people don't understand that, but here in the announcement, it's like, hey, welcome to my shop. Again, doing that, you know, dreamy thing of like, welcome to my shop and you're gonna find something cool. And he again emphasized the fact that bundle is your code to get 60% off when you purchase 3 items or more. Then people who are shopping for wedding are more likely to kind of purchase at least maybe 3 things, especially when it's getting you 60% off. So you understand the strategy here is like, he's driving sale of 3 items at 60% lesser cost, which is like, okay, is he losing money on it? No, it's a digital product. He's not losing any money on it. He can price it anything he wants. So understanding, yeah, okay. He's just playing with the buyer psychology here. This one, perfect gift is our time spent together. I do all the designs and you just personalize the gift and enjoy plenty of free time with your loved ones. Okay, I have no comments. All right, let's move forward. Okay, I really thought this is her top product because it's in like the banner and in featured items. But this one is listed 8 months ago, has only one favorite, doesn't even have views. What's going on here? Why is this listing on the featured section? All right, let's look at the featured items here. So this person is doing like this listing which has 41 favorites. No, oh, okay, so it's a bundle. You're like, okay, here's a bundle. This is probably, maybe it's a good strategy for search because like, hey, I have a wedding and I am going to look for this bundle which gives me everything. But then they end up buying like this one. Like, hey, this one has 5.4k favorites and 130k views. Similarly, this one is the phone one. So he has probably put all 3 type of products where it's like, here's a bundle if you want, here's an invitation if you want, and here is a phone invitation if you want. Whereas this one is like, it's the same design, just the text is different. Do you see the difference? All right, let's move on. All items, this shop. All right, I personally think the text is not very readable, but aesthetics is very good. He has a consistent theme of like grays or like very light beige and pinks, and this one has a consistent theme of the red bar. Stay away from red. And again, you see, not many favorites on anything. I feel bad for this shop because I feel like she probably puts a lot of hard work in this and it's not working. Okay, so let's continue. Tons of things. Look at this beautiful image, like backlit. Yellow is a color which makes you feel warm. Sunlight, these yellow lights, backdrop makes people relate to events like weddings where they usually see these lights. You know, work with the mental models of the buyers and you're more likely to make the purchase. This one is cute too. Okay. I'm not sure what this is. Photo tumbler wrap. Oh, it's a tumbler. I personally don't understand this image, so I would rather make a picture of a tumbler, but this one only has 77 favorites, which for this shop is not a lot. But for this shop, it'll be like bestseller. Okay. Again, I have seen this design in some other places. Just the aesthetics. Aesthetics is missing. What is all these things? What is this weird gradient which is like not very readable? People don't want to read that much. People are lazy buyers. Okay, like they want to spend minimum amount of time in finding the best thing at the best value. And that is Etsy's strategy and you need to understand it pretty well. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I've seen some of these are like print on demand of things. The others are just like printable stuff, tons of reviews. Let's go into the about section. Oh, I love this photo. Okay, photo, her about section. So this shop is new. This shop is 2 years old. And this one is kind of talking about how she is creating her, which is good. This one is talking a story that I created designs for my wedding and kept going, which is kind of funny. It brings like a smile to your face. You're like, yeah, this is how I got started. And this one is like, this is my passion and this is how, there's nothing wrong with both of them. Both of them are an interesting strategy. It just depends on your buyers and it depends on the audience you're trying to connect. So if you're into wedding and gifts, you have to understand like how to reach that audience hearts, really. Like how do you make them feel connected with you, which is what people come to Etsy for, honestly. Like they're looking for, you know, that premium purchase experience, but online. Okay, let's continue. He talks about himself and she talks about herself. I feel like, I don't know, when I read this thing, I married my best friend, makes people feel like, oh, that's very cute. And I honestly don't know if it's a marketing strategy or is it real. Look at his picture. He's like, I'm so posh. And she's like, I'm so warm. Which is, both works. I don't know. It really depends on your buyers. But this shop clearly just picked one niche and kept going. It's like, this is the least amount of effort I need to put my Etsy shop. And then, you know, maybe he was good in designing. So he put something together and then shop is going. Now I'm going to look at their analysis on Lister. All right. Let's continue. So I put their shop name in the Shop Explorer tool and this came up. Okay, ooh, AJ Digital Studio. Not a surprise, they are in the top 1% shops in the weddings category. Happy Hearts Hub, top 87% in the paper and party supplies. No, 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 no. Guys, invitations, not a party and paper supply thing. Like, a lot of people do this mistake where they categorize their products really poorly. And category is such an afterthought for so many people. But really, like, look at the difference. I'm not saying that, okay, the shop is probably not doing well because they are in paper and party supplies. There are obviously tons of other problems, but the categories itself, how are you telling Etsy that my products belong in wedding? No. I mean, yeah, okay, the shop has more birthdays and all these things, which is fine, I guess. For that, paper and party supplies is good. And maybe at a listing level, they fixed it. Now, this shop, you see, privacy policy is missing. If you don't have a privacy policy, Etsy will penalize you. They want complete shops, the shops they can trust, and privacy policy is like the most important thing you need to do for your Etsy shop. And honestly, a lot of sellers miss that. You can actually just use Etsy's templates to create your own privacy policy, and I've heard that that gives you a little bit of a boost, but that's not necessary. Wherever you want to find your privacy policy generator, find it and put it in there. It takes 2 minutes, literally. Don't overthink it. All right, this one, personal newspaper. I'm not sure who's searching for personal newspaper. Wedding date timeline. So too many repeated terms, so this probably is like not the best templates, but again, the newspaper is the most repeated word here, and a lot of single word. Birthday, I don't even know what this invite is. Birthday gift, kids party invite. All right, let's go. I'm sorry, this is longer than I expected. As I mentioned, he's using a lot of repeated tags, single word tags. Titles are good, using all 13 tags. Same here. This person is using a lot of single word tags. Complete, no, do not use single word tags. And then your title, as I mentioned, 12 of our listings don't include the main keyword in the title. Again, not great. Description, category could be refined. Same here, like he's using like low quality images, which at his volume probably doesn't matter to Etsy, but if you're a new shop, you want to make sure your image quality is at least 2000 pixels by 2000 pixels, okay? Etsy has decided to do square images, so if you are creating something from scratch, try to make them square images. Otherwise, you want them at least 2000 pixels height. So, one negative for the shop. Then no video. This one has videos in all of them. Missing alt text. Both of them have alt text missing. Again, because the shop is doing 18,000 sales, probably Etsy doesn't care. But at the same time, for new shops, not a good thing. Add that alt text. It is important for the quality score of your listings and for Etsy to understand that yes, you are crafting high quality products and listings. All right, so look at all his SEO scores, 91, 89, everything is on the top. 74, not great. Okay, this one's 90. Again, tons of issues in everything. Oh my god. I don't think there's nothing. Digital pregnancy announcement. Okay, I don't know how good these are doing. And baby shower. Okay, and then the last thing I want to show you guys is like the shop analysis for both of them. I just put their name in the shop explorer on Lister and look at this shop. It's really making like monthly 842 sales at the time when we started recording this one, and this one is only making 11. It's clearly trending up, and it made most of its sales from June last year, and that's when it blew up. This one, I guess, had some success, but not that much to begin with. The graphs look high, but the numbers are pretty low. And in terms of the listing we are looking at. You know, this one, you can see they're selling it for €2, and this one is €13, but I'm sure they give discounts. And the favorite ratio is kind of same for both of them, except this one is just not getting enough views. So I would say if this person wants to improve their listing, try to fix all the images, and it is still a good product, so put some ads budget and get those views, because it looks like people who do find it end up favoriting it. And yeah, that's it for today. Honestly, it was longer than I imagined, and I hope this was helpful. And let's answer the key question we started with this quest with, like, is copying listing enough? No, it's not enough. You need to understand the mindset of the buyer. You need to understand, like, it's not like one size fits all. You have to put in a lot of hard work and efforts to get inspired from an idea and make it your own. And just because you find a shiny listing on Etsy, it does not mean it will work for you. But there are definitely ways to make it work if you follow what Etsy is expecting from you. Hope this was helpful. If you find this useful, put a comment below. Tell me your biggest pain points of Etsy, and I'm going to answer them all. Subscribe to follow more. Thank you. Bye.